Hare Krishna, this morning we will discuss first canto, chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dvaraka, text 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jyamudiyayat Nastabrayasya Bhadrasu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. So this is verse 10 and 11. Verse 10 is the traditional slokas, Bhagavatam sloka with 11 syllables, but then is followed with text 11, which has 8 syllables, which is the format of most verses in the Bhagavad Gita. So different meters, different melodies. I will chant the verses first. Katam vayam natasyoshite tvayi Pashana drishtya kilata pasoshanam Chivena te sundara sasobitam Apasyamana vadanam manoharam. Then verse 11. Iti shodhirita vacha Vajanam bhakta vatsala Shimvananurham drishtya Vitam vampra vishatpuram. Now we have the translation. O Master, if you live abroad all the time, then we cannot look at your attractive face, whose satisfied smiles vanquish all our sufferings. How can we exist without your presence? Upon hearing their speeches, the Lord, who is very kind to the citizens and the devotees, entered the city of Dvaraka and acknowledged all their greetings by casting his transcendental glance over them. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Lord Krishna's attraction is so powerful that once being attracted by him, one cannot tolerate separation from him. Why is this so? Because we are all eternally related with him, as the sun rays are eternally related with the sun disk. The sun rays are molecular parts of the solar radiation. Thus the sun rays and the sun cannot be separated. The separation by the cloud is temporary and artificial, and as soon as the cloud is cleared, the sun rays again display their natural effulgence in the presence of the sun. Similarly, the living entities who are molecular parts of the whole spirit are separated from the Lord by the artificial covering of Maya, the illusory energy. This illusory energy, or the curtain of Maya, has to be removed, and when it is so done, the living entity can see the Lord face to face, and all his miseries are at once removed. Every one of us wants to remove the miseries of life, but we do not know how to do it. The solution is given here, and it rests on us to assimilate it or not. Read the translation once again. O Master, if you live abroad all the time, then we cannot look at your attractive face, whose satisfied smiles vanquish all our suffering. How can we exist without your presence? Upon hearing their speeches, the Lord, who is very kind to the citizens and the devotees, entered the city of Dvarka and acknowledged all their greetings by casting his transcendental glance to him. Oma chiana timanda siantinanzla slakian sexual militam yenatas maisigo avenma. Shitchitaya manobistam staptam yena butalis fama bakadamem dadatis va padantikam. Vande ham shigo shiyuda padakamalam shigom vaishnavamsam. Shirupam jagajatam saganragnatam vitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savadutam parjana saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakanalita Shifishakam Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jyatpate Gopesha Gopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamama Haripriya. Vancha kalpta vishakhe pasan bevisa patnam bhavanabhyo vaisnavyo namo namah. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini. Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachai Dasatani. Srila Prabhupada Ki. So in this verse, it is said that when we become attracted to Krishna, then we become free from all suffering. We cannot exist without Krishna's presence. It is in our heart. But by the illusory energy, we forgot our relationship with Krishna. And we are not attracted to Krishna because of the illusory energy, and we are suffering. But we see that these citizens of Dvarka, they are all devotees. And when Krishna appears, all their suffering vanquishes. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada generalizes it by saying all living entities are related to Krishna, but now due to illusory energy, they have forgotten that relationship, therefore they are suffering. So real religion means re-establishing living in our relationship with Krishna. That's acting in devotional service. That the Bhagavatam begins with Dharma prochakai vatra paramo nimatsaram sutam. It says Dharma, religiosity. Then prochita, rejected. Kaitav, covered by fruitive intention. The so-called religion that which is done not to engage people in devotional service, but to get material benefit, that's rejected, the Bhagavatam says. But Krishna does not reject real Dharma. Dharma means real religious principles, and they cannot be changed. That they are laws of religion. So real religious principles, they are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That it is said, in the Bhagavatam, Yamaraj is instructing the Yamadutas. He says, Dharmam tu sakshat paravat pranitam, na vaividurishaya napi deva, na siddha mukhya suramanusya, kutono vidyadara charanadaya. He says, a real religious principle are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So real religious principle, they come from Krishna. Bhagavad Gita speaks Krishna. These are the real religious principles. But those who are even in the modes of goodness, even great rishis, who are living in the highest planets, they cannot understand these real religious principles. Also the demigods cannot understand them. Also the leaders of the Siddhaloka, so certainly the demons cannot understand, or ordinary human beings cannot understand. The Vidyadharas, Sharnas, and all kinds of demigods cannot understand religious principle. That is what Yamaraj says. So Prabhupada explains actual religion is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Kaitav Dharma means covered with fruitive intention. Kaitava is in Sanskrit also other meanings. It means bewitched, confused. So if religious principles are adulterated, are changed by some motivation, then they are rejected. So there is Dharma, there is religion, and there is philosophy. Krishna gives that in Bhagavad Gita what real religion is. In Bhagavad Gita, in the 3rd chapter, the 1st verse, Arjuna is asking Krishna, Chayasi sat karmanaste mata buddhir chanartana, tat kim karmani gore man niyo yajasi keshava. Arjuna said, O Janardhan, O Keshav, why do you want me to engage in this ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work. So Arjuna, he was thinking that spiritual life is a kind of buddhi or knowledge. And how can one cultivate knowledge when one has to do something which is very lowly? It's going to kill his family members. So knowledge is avoiding something that is lowly, and then elevate oneself to something higher. So if one is engaging in something abominable, as killing people on the battlefield, how will that help one to cultivate higher intelligence? So Arjuna continues in 3.2 Bhagavad Gita, Vyamishrane vivakyana, that adim mokshaya sivame, tatikam vadanishitya, yena shreyaham apnam. He says, my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Two meanings. Therefore, please tell me decisively which is most beneficial for me. Arjuna is confused because Krishna before said in 2.49 in Bhagavad Gita, Dharena yavaram karma buddhi yoga dhananja, Buddha sharanamam vichakripana phala hetava. He says yes. Krishna says in this verse, O Dhananjay, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrendering to the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Those who want to engage the fruits are misers, he's saying. And now, after having said this, that Krishna says, Arjuna, you fight and kill people. Killing people is abominable, Arjuna says, and you want me to use my intelligence? So it seems you are telling me something equivocal, that something contradictory. That, but Krishna says, that's 3.3 Bhagavad Gita. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Lokasmin Vividanishta Purapoktamayanaga Kyan Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead said, O stillness Arjun, I've already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical, philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service. So in that verse today, that Bhagavatam verse, Prabhupada in the purport stresses this dharma of religion is natural for everyone. But if our daily activity is not backed up with real intelligence, then it becomes fanaticism or sentiment. And when philosophy is not based on something practical, and if one does not understand what the goal is, namely developing love for Krishna, it becomes dry speculation. So religion and knowledge are interrelated. That knowledge is supposed to help one to develop a finer sentiment, so that one can come to a higher state of consciousness. So Krishna asked Arjuna to fight in a higher state of consciousness. That was the point. And that fighting in a higher state of consciousness should be done under Krishna's direction, because and it should be done under Krishna's direction and the faith that Krishna knows what is best for everyone. Similarly, here it is said that Krishna is the most dear friend and well-wisher in the verse, and has an intimate relationship with everyone. So by Krishna conscious philosophy, we will be able to realize that we are not his body, and that at every moment we are intimately related to Krishna. Although it may appear that our intimate relationship at the present is with the body, not with Krishna, but actually we are not his body. So the person who is close to us is not his body. This body is dead anyhow. But the person who we are most related to is Krishna. Krishna as Paramatma within our heart. Our desires are understood and fulfilled by him. Nobody can be a better friend than Krishna. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Upadrastanamanta sha bhakta bhuktamashvaram paramatmiti sapyukto deismin purusapara. In this body, it is said, there is an other, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord. The supreme proprietor who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the supersoul. The Krishna says that he's in everyone's heart. So Krishna is with us and is trying to help us to become Krishna consciousness, so that we become happy, free from suffering. But there is the obstacle that we are unwilling to do so. And that manifests itself in the form of our attachment to different other kinds of consciousness. Our attachment to the consciousness of sense enjoyment. We have many people have the mentality of the demons, a different consciousness. This described in Bhagavad Gita. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He's my enemy, and I've killed him. And my other enemies will also be killed. I'm the Lord of everything, I'm the enjoyer, I'm perfect, powerful, and happy. I'm the rich man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifice, I shall give some charity, and then I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. So, of course, that's a demoniac mentality. But in Kali Yuga, we have both in our hearts, the demoniac and some part is divine, at least for devotees. So we have to change our consciousness. We have to come to the consciousness of the residents of Vrindavan. That Vrindavan, in Vrindavan, all the residents of Vrindavan, they want to put always Krishna in the center. But yes, that Krishna will vanquish all our suffering. But our suffering, factually, comes from our mind. The mind is imagining distress or happiness. But that is a mental concoction. This happiness and distress, that it's an imagination of the mind. It's best to engage just the mind in the service of Krishna. Then we forget about this happiness and distress of the body. That we think this condition is good, this condition is bad. Yeah. But it's like, we think this is good, this is bad. Prabhupada explains in a lecture. The best apartment in India is not a good apartment in America. At least at that time. So it's mental concoction. This is good, this is bad. A hawk is thinking stool is very nice. You have all these mental concoctions in all species of life. That people in America think my standard of living is the best. 100 years before, there were no skyscrapers. Even the best skyscraper building is not best. What is the standard? That it changes all mental concoction. We have many times in this world learned people from the university, they are considered learned. But the land is also full because they don't understand who they are, that they are not a body. But my mental concoction, we think this person is intelligent. So Krishna consciousness is not manufactured by the mind of someone. It is a process we find in Bhagavad Gita. Manmanabhav mat bhakto machi imam namasko. This is the process. We become attached to Krishna. We forget all our suffering. Because when we realize our relationship with Krishna, we are so satisfied. Because this mental concoction of good and bad, it makes the mind restless. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Prajati yata kamam sarva. Yeah, it says one should give up these material desires because they are born on mental concoction. They are not really that. And it makes the mind restless. Sometimes we think a certain person is not contacting us for some time, and we think something must happen. But no, that's just a speculation. So we have some relations for some time, and then it goes. Nothing to worry about. But we are worrying that about so many things. Means Udret Atmanatman Atmanam Avasadyat Atmevi Atmanavanu Atmevi Atman. With the mind you can uplift yourself, or with the mind you can degrade yourself. The mind can be your best friend, or the mind can be your greatest enemy. Bandhu atmatmanastasya anatmanajita anatmanatu satrasve partitatmaiva satravat. When the mind is, when your mind is conquered, is your best friend. Otherwise, it's your greatest enemy. So a conquered mind means a mind which is not absorbed in this good and bad, pain and pleasure. It's all for the body. The body will not give you peace. Just let all these things go. Don't strive for the good. Don't try to avoid the bad. Let come what comes. We accepted Krishna and we engage in your devotional service. And that's the beginning of feeling peaceful. We have so many problems, but in 20 years from now, they are not existing anymore. It's just temporary mental concoctions. We think about this person, that, and that person, that, but it's not true. It's our mind, that's all. Therefore, we should engage in Krishna's service and not focus on all these temporary relationships, these temporary issues. No, we try to deal with them as a service to Krishna, but whatever the result is. And then this world will not affect you. You are part of the world, but at the same you are a part. But the good or bad, let's happen, whatever happens. But I will love Krishna. This is not escapism. No, it is getting rid your mind of mental concoction. And when you are peaceful, you can think of Krishna. That's the purpose of yoga. Chitatma prasantasya paramatma samaita. If you become peaceful, get rid of all this attachment and aversions and this mental concoction. Then you can think of Krishna and you will find Krishna in your heart. And of course, the essence of Dwarka, they saw Krishna outside, that Krishna was before them, but they felt also Krishna in their hearts. A little further in this chapter, you will see that the queens will see Krishna, but they cannot embrace him out of social etiquette. But they sent their sons to embrace Krishna. And in their heart, they embraced Krishna. They were also conscious Krishna is in my heart, is the Supreme Lord. In the talks between Rukmini and Krishna, you will find that Rukmini is very much aware that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows everything. If we understand that, we don't pray for Krishna to fulfill our desires. Krishna knows it already. And 8th verse of the Shikshastikam, Asrisya vapatam ritam panestamam adakshna marmato karutiva yatata vavatata lampato nat prananusa evanapa. This is the mood of Srimad Radharani. Whether you break my heart, whether you are present before me or not, doesn't matter. I will still love you. And that's the platform we should strive for. We live to love Krishna. Then Krishna's reciprocation is that he frees us from all suffering. We become ecstatic. But for this, we need to free us from all these mental concoctions. Should not take the mind too serious. It is not. Hare Krishna. Any question or comment, please?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yeah. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for a nice class. So Maharaj, many times, the mind procrastinates. We know what are the, things, good things, and we know the theory, but still, mind tells, oh, there are so many other things to do, which are more material, like work or taking care of project or a family. Then the working on our consciousness or doing Krishna conscious activity takes a back seat. So, how to come out of that cycle?
In the Bhagavad Gita, procrastination is mentioned as a characteristic in the mode of ignorance. That ignorance means, yes, we forget our relationship with Krishna and we put other priorities before. And that's, we think that we do later. I will chant when I'm old. That will become a devotee when I'm 70. But then it will never happen. No, that there is an urgency. We should take Krishna consciousness now. Therefore, good planning is important. If we stop chanting our rounds, we are lost. But this assurance of Prabhupada, if we chant our rounds, we hear Bhagavatam, we do service every day, he will take care of us. But we think that we have to take care of so many things. But it will only lead to frustration finally. And that's the truth. If it's not dovetailed with Krishna consciousness, either directly or indirectly. That urgency is explained by Prabhupada in a verse in the Bhagavatam, in the I think in the 4th chapter. In the properties, he writes, if there's fire in someone's house, then neighbors will help each other to get rid of the fire, to bring water, even if they don't understand each other's language, they will cooperate together to that. So yes, understanding the urgency of Krishna consciousness. Every action out of Krishna consciousness will lead to suffering, and that's the reality. That Karman evatakaraste mafulijakatajana, acting without attachment to the result. That's the beginning, but it's not sufficient. That one must factually act out of love for Krishna and be peaceful. Do things in the mode of goodness. That don't go into passion. Do what you can. Don't over endeavor. Then you are going into passion. So do things one after another, but try to think of Krishna. Try to take shelter of Krishna in everything you do. That if we don't do that, then the material energy takes care of you and will slap you in the face and get suffering. And that's just reality. That, but somewhere or other we don't get it. We think I have so many things to do. You can die next moment. What's the point with your plans? It's just futile. But we think we have so many things to do. In that way, it's important to realize that, and we do what we can. But over endeavor, in astrology for the moment, that Saturn is coming out of Aquarius, Kumbha, goes into Aries. That is a period of passion and fire and change things. This year is astrological, is a year of change. But that is also good. We can use that in our Krishna consciousness. This year, we must change ourselves and become more committed and simplify our life and do what we can do, not over endeavor. Remain peaceful in all circumstances. Like Bojan always said, the dogs are barking, the caravan will pass anyway. That whatever good or bad situation we have, we should become callous towards it, let it pass. That and that's the change we must make. That because otherwise, when you are not acting in goodness, not peaceful, not think of Krishna regularly, you are giving the lead of your life to Maya. Don't do that. Don't do that. Remain with Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and pray to them and continue in a peaceful way. That honor and dishonor will come anyway. So that's my sermon. Does that help? Something happened in your heart or?
Yes, Maharaj. No, it helped, Maharaj. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Good. Then we will see next week. Wednesday the class and Wednesday evening a normal week, I would say, for next week. Of course, next Wednesday I have to go to the dentist, but that's before. Normally I should be in time. It'd be okay. Send me the verse the day before.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Anything else for someone? No? Okay. Then, well,